This is Friday, last day in August. Still using the same logins. And this is Introduction to Computers. Here we go. We are on last day of week 1. This would be day 3 of the course. We did a little review at first. We talked about users and becoming more of an expert, but computer systems, all the things that go into compute, start at humans. Humans make hardware, the physical part of this. Humans write the instructions, the programs that function, if you want to think about it, that, let me do this, software functions on the hardware. Okay, if you remember, we take data, process it into information, and then nowadays we want to be able to move that information around, and we send it on different media. We can send it through the air, wave, we can send it through a wire, or we can send it through fiber optics using light. Electricity, light, and radio waves. And it's more than just radio waves. But anyway. Okay, so here's what I was just talking about. We were referring to these 4 key elements that make up computer systems. So wherever you're at, here, your goal should be to move up. When we get done with the course, you're more of an expert, along with being a smart user. Not just a user, but a smart user. I mentioned before, does your phone own you, or do you own the phone? Okay, by the end, you should own the phone. You should decide when and where and how you use technology in your lives, and have that affect others around you in their lives. Okay? To make lives better, not worse. In networks, we talk about media. We can send things on wires. Okay. We can send it through the air, or we can use light and send it through these fiber optic lines. Okay. Now, an example of sending it through the air, we can have Wi-Fi. Okay. You can have 4G LTE. You can send it through microwaves, and that's not all of them. You can, for wireless, you can shoot it up to a satellite and bring it back down. There's a lot. That's probably the 4 main ways. What's important to understand, Wi-Fi is not the same as when you use your 4G, 3G, 4G, or your data plan on your phone, which is different than what we call short-haul microwave, or communicating to a satellite. That's not Saturday, that stands for satellite. Okay? Moving on. Taking a look at the big picture. We want you to understand the difference between, we store these files. You can store files. They're stored on some type of hard drive, or a floppy drive, or in flash. Okay? But they're stored somewhere. That somewhere could be on a local area network. It could be using a WAN to access somewhere in the cloud, so forth. Could be a network storage in a LAN. But we have files. We break them into 2 major parts. They're either the software, the programs that manage the data. Okay. Programs use the data to produce information. This was just an example. Somebody said, well, one kind of data is a PDF. So if you think about it, you could have Microsoft Word, and you'd be creating your document. Then you can produce a PDF from that software. So you can produce different types of data files. Okay, then we need to distinguish a local area network from a wide area network. Local area networks, it stands for LAN, local area network. LAN stands for local area network, so they're backwards. For example, here at NIAC, you might think of our cloud here. This is a LAN. We have all these services. We have the dorms, we have the apartments, we got all the different buildings here on campus, and they're all connected on a local area network. Does that make sense? Okay. It's in the same area, let me clarify that here. Same area under one authority or one particular company managing it, like NIAC. Now NIAC has a site in Charles City that they communicate with. So they have a local area network here, but they can communicate through the internet and connect these two networks. That would be a WAN, wide area network. There's a geographic difference between the two locations, and you use some type of service provider to connect them. In NIAC's case, they can use the internet via a virtual private network to connect those two networks. Okay? It's the same way. I connect to, let me use another color here. I might connect from this network to my storage here on Dropbox and back. That's WAN, and it's cloud storage. Managing files. We use folders and directories. What we have is the files are stored on some kind of storage device, and then on there we keep where the files are. They call it a file allocation table. So it lists the files, and then it lists, where they're stored, plus some other information, how big they are, and so forth. So it keeps this list, file allocation table, somewhere's on the disk. So when you open up some kind of software to look up where some files are, like File Explorer on Windows, it will give you a picture of those folders and subfolders, or directories and subdirectories. And by organizing your files there, then you can find them off the hard drive. There's software that does that. We'll talk about that this coming week. You can, you can, with your browser, see your files in the cloud if you want to. Okay, that would be your Google files or your Dropbox files. We can review that this coming week. Then you have to be able to do file manage. You got to be able to delete, update, copy or move. You got to be able to manage the files. Okay? You can back them up, take them from one location to another, so that if something happens, you still have your files. Okay. Like you have files out there at Facebook too. Remember, overemphasize this, the internet is the inner network or the transport between all these locations. Inside the internet, it's just the transport mechanism to get to all these networks, local area networks in the world. So the internet itself is not a WAN. When you use it to connect to locations, like if I'm connecting from home to Dropbox, yeah, that becomes a WAN, but only when I make the connection between the two. Or Dropbox makes the connection to me, however you want to look at that. One page left. The big picture. Man, I didn't know I had this slide. Yeah, I got the slide. So, as an example, I can be at home. Let me make my cloud here at home. And I could store stuff on my hard drive inside my laptop or my PC or the school's iPad. You can store some stuff there too. Or I can connect to Google and store things there. For example, my phone in my house. When I plug it in at night to the power and it's on the Wi-Fi, so I'm not using my data plan, it takes and it backs up my files through my Wi-Fi to Google. Okay? So they're backed up. So I have copies. I have I've got copies of the pictures stored out here. And then Google, they back their systems up. Okay? How do I keep track of them? Folders and directories to be able to see what's where. Or you just keep track of them by the names. Okay? So that would be some type of WAN communications. Now, once in a while, if I want to, we'll copy files between my computer and my wife's. That would be a peer-to-peer connection where we share some files internally in our house. That would be a LAN, a local area network. Or connecting to our printer is a local area network. Or our smart TV connects to the Wi-Fi so we can watch YouTube without using a computer. Okay, that's connected on our local area network. That would be our Wi-Fi in our house. That'd be a LAN. Okay, connecting out here would be a LAN via the internet. In the same way, I can connect from here also from the house to my files on Dropbox. Either through a browser, I can do that through an app I have downloaded on my phone or whatever. That would be a WAN connection. Now at the college, sometimes we have storage right in our computers, in our PC. So we have a PC connected, and you can save things on the hard drive in the PC, or you can save things on the storage right here at NIAC using the whatever H drive or whatever drive it happens to be labeled. Okay, so local, or you can store it on a local server, or when you update something on Canvas, it's actually out here. That's enough for today. Great first week. Okay, make sure you check. Ask if you're having trouble with anything, and we'll do what we can to help you manage your learning. That's it.